All right. Are you ready?
I believe so.
Okay. Hello and welcome to Anatomy of Marriage Radio. I'm your host, Melanie Studley.
What's up, my friends? My name is Seth Studley. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist, and welcome to the show. It's good to see you this morning.
This is a show about real help for real couples that we created because our marriage was really terrible, and we hope that you are going to join us. I don't know. I said the wrong thing, and there it is. I can't change it anymore.
You always get on me about...
I know, I do. I apologize. Our show is brought to you by the Anatomy of Marriage app. It's an app we created to help you get through all of your couples problems and all that jazz, and it is a fast, fun, easy-to-use app about couples counseling. So it's awesome. Check it out at anatomyofmarriage.com.
That's right. Every morning we do 4 things. We pray, we share a gratitude, something we're thankful for that each one of us did, and then an intention and a conversation starter, which I have a good conversation starter that I just made up. So
great.
All right, let's pray. Thank you, God, Creator, for your blessings. Thank you for all the things that you have given us. Most of all, opportunities and connection and thankfulness, God. Thank you for all the blessings that you've given us. I pray the show is helpful to all the people listening and also to us. Amen.
Amen.
I'm rubbing your back when I pray.
I know, it drives me crazy. You rub my spine, which is like a very weird feeling. And
Spines trip me out.
Right. We encourage you to do your prayers together with your partner. This is a great way to connect. It's super easy and fun. Our gratitude, what are you thankful for today?
You always ask me first, and I don't have time to think of one, so I'm asking you first.
Okay. I'm thankful that you took me all across the world when we went to my friend's wedding in Spain. You took me to Iceland and Scotland and Ireland and Morocco and many, many more places. And I'm thankful because I would never have done those things if it were not for you.
This guy.
That guy. So thank you for those things.
Well, you're very welcome. It was absolutely my pleasure. Thank you for going with me. Thank you for being down. I always say that you're my ride or die, B. And you rode with me. So
that's right.
Rather, you flew with me. Somebody
Right.
says that shirt. Hey, I love it when people know. Wait a minute.
This shirt. Wait, which shirt?
The shirt that I bought of one of my favorite bands,
shirt or
the
that
shirt that I made.
You didn't make this shirt.
I
made
ordered
this.
it.
Oh, you've started a fight. Just kidding. Yeah, so do your gratitudes together. What are you thankful about your spouse? And tell us which shirt you like. And I forgot to mention, every day we're live on Instagram and Facebook, so that's what we're talking about right now.
Show the shirt. This shirt is for sale. DM us if you want, and we will get you one.
It says Woolly Mammoth, and it says #leg hair don't care, and there's a picture of a hairy leg on it. And they say both. I made this shirt because one time I said that joke to my kids that I was the woolly mammoth, and I died laughing, and I'm like, that should be a shirt. So it is, and I wear it.
That's right.
And Seth's shirt is Amon Amarth.
Right. So.
The metal band.
Yes.
So,
Swedish
anyway.
metal, by the way. Okay, let's get into it.
Intentions. We didn't do our intentions.
That's right. So, okay, I'll be honest with you. So, I am doing a 12-week plan, and it has really been difficult so far to get things in order.
Right.
You know, like it's with orderofman.com. If you guys don't know that, go check it out. Go check out that podcast. We should hashtag that in the podcast.
Sure.
And also, so I'm trying to get this thing down, right? And it has to do with every part of my life, and most of which connection with you. So I'm really trying to be intentional. It's like, hey, what works? And then, of course, I'll talk about it. We are scheduling sex. So I am thinking about when it is my time to initiate, like literally, what am I going to do? Like foreplay. What takes off your brakes and puts on your accelerators, right? And that starts in the morning. So I'm being intentional by thinking about that, literally.
Is that today? It's not
No,
today.
it's not today. My day is Thursday.
I was really concerned.
Right.
Well, I like that intention.
You were concerned. What?
Well, I thought it was Thursday.
Right.
So now y'all know when we have sex. So,
oh, wow.
It's fine. Everyone has sex. Flowers have sex. So I wanted to say my intention again for me to you, is to touch you more, and I just really struggle with it. I don't even think about it. I need to set alarms. That's what I need to do.
I noticed that you struggle with it. I'm like, you say that that's your intention, but you don't, and I feel sorry for you. No, I'm like, she legit struggles with that, so I'm not gonna get mad or pissed or butthurt or anything. It's like, hey, that's hard. I'm gonna celebrate any time that it does happen.
Okay.
So.
Good.
We
encourage you to pray with your spouse, do your gratitudes, do your intentions.
You just shrugged me off.
I didn't. I want to talk about our question of the day.
All right, go for it. Read the question.
Ignore you. So, our question of the day. Actually, before we talk about our question, I want to talk about the post that I did yesterday about 75 hard. So, and good morning to everybody who's joining us.
Valerie.
So,
Milton.
I posted the thing about finishing 75 hard, and I've got tons of great comments. People are like, "Oh my gosh, that's so awesome! I'm so proud of you!" High fives, fires, all those things, hearts, and it is really awesome. If you want to kick your own butt and know what you're made of, do the 75 hard challenge. You can look it up. Just look up Google 75 hard rules, and it will show you. So it's 2 45-minute workouts a day. One of them has to be outside. I would often do yoga inside and do a jog outside. And again, it doesn't matter the weather. It could be super hot, super cold, raining, snowing. It doesn't matter. It's called 75 hard for a reason. It's meant to show you how strong you are, right? So then you do your progress picture in like your skivvies like y'all saw. And then, and that's what I want to talk about
and
too.
That's to highlight the progress that your body is making, the change. Right. So Erin says, love.
So you do your picture in your skivvies. You do your 2 workouts. You read 10 pages of a like self-help or business book a day. It can't be an audiobook. And then what am I missing? You do a diet, no cheat days, no alcohol, none of that crap.
You drink a gallon of water.
You drink a gallon of water, and I think that's everything.
That's right.
And it is amazing, and I want you guys to do it. Just Google 75 hard rules and do it. I love the keto diet. Cutting out gluten and sugar. And most dairy, except for like the coffee in my half and half.
If you guys want to start a support group, let's do something on socials in that way. Maybe we could do like hashtag 75 hard AOM,
right,
or something like that.
That's
and
a good idea.
I am all about that.
I'll start it again too.
I think yes, I'm on phase 2 right now, and it's part of the Live Hard program, which I want you to do because you did the hardest one.
Ain't gonna do. So look, hashtag leg hair don't care. I ain't gonna do a cold shower for 5 minutes. My leg hair will be I'll be like a car wash. My leg hairs will be poking. Anyway,
yeah, it'll scratch the car.
It will. So the reason that I wanted to talk about this is we got a few comments where people were like, "Hey, I'm really proud of you, but this made my wife upset." Right? Pictures of you in your bikini, and I very intentionally posted those photos. And here's what I want to say: I'm not mad at anybody. I'm not mad at the wife. I was there years ago in our marriage where if I saw something like that, I would have been all over you. Like white on rice. I would have been so mad.
I've been there where the guy was with like, oh crap.
What am I going to do?
And then you throw shade or whatever.
Oh, and I throw more than shade.
It makes for a very, very, very sucky, uncomfortable life.
Right. And I wanted to comment on it because none of those posts that I posted were sexual in nature. None of them. Not one of the things that I was doing was meant to entice anybody. It wasn't meant to make people look at me and go, "Oh, wow, her." It was literally I'm showing you my physical health. How many posts have you done without your shirt on?
Exactly.
And no one has gone, "Hey."
So that is the whole reason that a selfie progress pic is part of the 75 hard, and you have to share it because you have to be willing to be vulnerable. I gained 20 pounds.
20 pounds?
Yeah, when I was doing 75 hard, at my lowest, I weighed like 134, and I weighed like 154, right? So I literally gained 20 pounds over the course of like 3 months, right?
That's crazy.
I know, it's crazy, right?
I didn't realize that.
Right, so I am posting pictures because I'm like not super jazzed about, being 20 pounds more of Seth, right? But what I'm doing that for is because I'm putting myself out there. Obviously, we're vulnerable on the podcast. So I want to show my body, not for vanity, not for ego, not for anything. Just like, hey, this is it. Okay, here we go. And then through hard work, through discipline and sacrifice, this is what it is now. You know what I'm saying? And we are not saying, we're not body shaming. We're not anything like that. We are saying we are all about body positivity. And shoot, if I had my way, I would basically wear almost nothing around the house in the summer because it's just fun, right?
Free and easy.
So what we're doing those posts for is to say, hey, with hard work, this is possible. Oh, and guess what? I feel 100% better,
right?
Looser and more flexible and more capable and strong and agile when I'm at a certain weight, right? Erin says, love the Amon Amarth shirt, Seth. Seen them live. They are great. Yes, they are. I have seen them, let's see.
Like 100 times.
I think 5 times. 5 times. Every show has been great.
Every time he's bought 2 tickets and every time I haven't gone.
Oh, here's what I do.
I
buy the tickets
I love you.
early.
No.
Okay.
Okay, so Great. So I did want to say, I wasn't going to talk about 75 Hard in that way. I was specifically wanting to address the fact that nothing I posted was sexual in nature, and I want you to hear that. If you are a wife who has recently talked to your husband about those posts, this is to you. And if you are a husband who recently talked to your wife about those posts because she got you in trouble, this is also to you. Thank you for reaching out. Nothing that I did was wrong, and I'm not trying to cover my bases here. I'm trying to help you both see.
You want to facilitate the conversation and say,
yes,
let's talk about this.
Let's talk
heal
about
from
it.
This.
It is not healthy, because I was doing this to set anything that looked. I mean, y'all, I did this. I remember I got mad at him. There was an H&M. We went into H&M, and it was summertime. Guess what the ads on the walls were for? Bathing suits. You know how angry I got at that? I was like a bull with a red cape.
It was like you were mad at the
whole
cultural,
world.
the cultural aspect of it, and it just laser beamed onto.
Oh yeah,
me.
And I annihilated Seth anytime, every time I felt uncomfortable. So I was walking with my neighbor yesterday, and she said something like, "Emotions are sticky; they get onto other people." And I had never really thought about that, but it totally makes sense from a neurological perspective. Mirror neurons, right? It's like you're reflecting back what you're seeing. Well, if my emotions are death, you terrible human, you look at everybody, you think everyone should be having sex with you. Oh, that's my emotions, and I'm sticking them all over you.
Right.
And then the worst part is you have to process my discomfort. Right?
And you know what that does?
It's like Slimer.
Yeah, it is like Slimer in Ghostbusters. That takes up my brain space trying to take care of you. And then how am I going to process my own stuff? How am I going to have my own feelings, thoughts, desires, dreams? How do I deal with my own anxieties? You know what I'm saying?
You don't, and you didn't.
You
For years,
right.
I Slimered you.
Maybe, wait a minute.
Say it.
I have a really good thought now.
What is it?
So obviously we went through a hard time, and we
Yes.
talk about it. You had crazy views on stuff that weren't healthy, right? I was carrying that, plus carrying my own stuff, but literally focusing all on you, not being able to process my own stuff, and these subsequent, I don't know, last couple of years, I've been thinking about a lot of stuff, right? I've definitely gone to a therapist more times than you have, you know, in the last, I don't know, 4 years, right? I've probably had more, it goes back, like, if you guys listen to any shows that we've done past, like, sometimes I get all up in my feels and, like, cry, like, deathly hard, right? Because it's, like, letting it out. So, it's processing, now that I don't have to take care of you kind of thing, it's processing all my own stuff through and through. That was,
and it's almost like,
you know what I'm saying?
I think of this, we are cleaning out our storage shed right now, and it's like I made all of my problems the crap that's in the middle of the shed. I Slimered you. I went, no, these are the ones you can't walk around them. You can't even fix your problems. They're on the shelves behind all of my problems. And so I really wanted to bring this topic up, and I thank you for the people who reached out. I only got a few comments saying, hey, this made me feel uncomfortable. And that's fine. And that is why I wanted to talk about this, because
there's growth in the uncomfortable.
There is growth in the discomfort, and what is really important,
gross.
There is growth in the discomfort, and it's important for us to talk about these things openly. I think in the Christian faith, we almost never talk about this stuff openly at all because we're terrified of it. We've got to stop being afraid of it. I did not post anything to lure your husbands, y'all. I've got my own Captain America. I don't need yours. But
thanks for calling me Captain America.
But it's really important to see, like, I was doing that. The thing that the wife said, oh, you like her post? You only like that because she's wearing a bikini. No, like, stop it. Health is attractive, okay? We don't like pictures of dying flowers. We like pictures of beautiful rose gardens. Health is attractive.
Vibrancy, right? Balance is attractive, right? Whatever that looks like for you, balance is attractive. There's a billion different optimal weights for a billion different people.
Right.
Understand what I'm saying? So you guys, if any of this is resonating, throw up a heart, throw up a like, leave your comments down below. What's up, the doctor and the dietitian?
Oh,
and
like that.
So yeah, thank you for that.
Yes.
And I feel like we haven't addressed any of the questions.
We
on
haven't
our
yet,
thing
and I'm
today,
doing it
so.
very much on purpose. We will do our questions straight now, but I just wanted to say I didn't post anything weird to lure your husbands in.
Right.
That ain't the point, but I did post it on purpose to start these conversations in a new and healthy way.
And here's one thing that I want to just briefly touch on. When we were going through all our stuff, we did not have the resources that we have now, right? We created a podcast because those resources weren't available, and this definitely wasn't available. GetFaithful.com/anatomy of marriage to get hooked up with a licensed therapist. I'm a licensed therapist. I have been for, 13 plus years, and this is a real resource that we we push it. You guys are going there, and you're getting help.
So Seth is talking about Faithful Counseling. There is a teletherapy service called Faithful Counseling, and you can go to getfaithful.com/anatomy of marriage to get a counselor that's right for you and your situation. If you are struggling with this kind of thing, so when we were struggling with this kind of thing, we were going to counseling. We just happened to have a really terrible counselor.
Right.
We got a different one. But that's one of the things you can do with Faithful Counseling. You can switch your counselor. You can search for your counselor depending upon your needs. So go to getfaithful.com/anatomy of marriage to get connected.
That's right. Jamie says, what post are you guys talking about? Sorry, I missed that part. It's a post she did yesterday on Instagram and
Facebook.
Also Facebook. Just look up
And
yesterday's
I
stuff.
completed 75 hard. There's pictures of me doing like handstands on the beach. Guys, that was so amazing. But I also posted progress pictures of me in like a bikini. I mean, it's a cute bikini.
It is cute.
But I ain't trying to be sexy, y'all.
Okay, Hatisha, what's up, my friend?
Hi, Hatisha.
Love it, you guys. Being proud of your journey, your body, and your process is awesome. Sharing it is also inspiring. Right, I find that sharing it, that's why and if you guys want to, go follow me on Instagram at Seth Studley. I started my own Instagram, so Instagram at Seth Studley. Go there, check it out. I am posting stuff, my before and after pics, because I'm doing phase 2 right now, and then just stuff I love.
Right.
Fishing pictures, outdoor stuff.
And Hatisha, you have a little pen pal mail coming to your way.
Oh, that's
coming to
right.
Canada from Maple Valley.
All right.
All
Into
right,
the questions.
here is our question. So,
I struggle.
Okay.
I struggle with seeing the negatives in my husband more than the positives. I want to express more positivity and gratitude. How do I do that and still be genuine when I struggle to see the positives in him? Okay, first, thank you. Second, see the positives in yourself. Affirm yourself. Tell yourself, I am enough. I am positive. I speak positivity. I look at myself and I am positive. Because there's no way in H that you are going to be able to pour out and give to your husband and say, oh, well, I'm going to tell him good things and all this stuff, if you don't see it yourself. If I want to give Melanie $2 more than anything in the world, if the earth depended on it, and I wanted to give her $2, if I didn't have $2 in my pocket, it wouldn't happen. Understand what I'm saying? So you can't shower your husband with positivity. You can't do all these things if you don't see it in yourself, right? You have to have it before you can give it.
That's
End of podcast. Over.
No, that's tricky because I will tell you what, I struggled with this a lot for a few years in our marriage, and I want to talk about that specifically. And that's why I really was attracted to this question, because there was a time in our marriage when I felt, and this was, I don't know how long ago it was, but it was like all I thought when I looked at you was, he doesn't care, he isn't doing it right. Why does he do that? Like it was a constant. It was the opposite of gratitude. It was flatitude. What's the opposite of gratitude? Not being thankful? I don't know. Is there a word?
Right.
But I didn't look at myself and say, oh, I'm not thankful. I don't have gratitude. Because I was like, I'm doing it right. He's doing it wrong.
So then let's flip the script a little bit. Still, that goes to you. It all comes back to you.
That's right.
You understand?
I'm just kidding.
Well, yeah. And it all comes back to you. Why do you think you're so great and doing everything great? Great. Because you're not, right? So there's some judgment in there. There is, a preferred view, like we talk about.
Oh, yeah.
Your preferred view is like, oh, I do everything right. But wait a minute. Let's weigh that towards reality. Do you do everything right? And of course the answer is no. So you have to do a lot of self-work before, okay, here's how I'll say it. Instead of the $2 to $1 example, you have to do a lot of self-work. You have to be aware of all of your stuff before you can ultimately connect with another person and see them for who they are, right?
Right.
Because what is it? Your relational differences, or what is the? I can't think of it. Anyway, what's up, Thomas Price? What's up, Bill? Nice
You
muscle.
just
yeah, I know.
change the topic when you're like, I don't know what I'm saying. So the thing that stands out to me in this conversation is what I dealt with specifically is that I was taking my standards and my preferences. So hear me out just for a second. This is not about your husband having more negatives than positives, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is literally nothing to do with your husband. Because when we were going through this, and this was a long time of going through this, I was very unhappy with you, but it was like a underlying, it wasn't like I was mad at you every day.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't like I thought you were the worst or you were doing something terrible. I was just like, oh, this is not what I thought I signed up for, right? And why that was happening was because I was, for one, probably the biggest thing I was doing was I was taking my standards, my preferences, and putting them at the highest priority of everything.
Mm-hmm.
So how I clean a car is how all people clean cars. How I cook, what I eat, what I think, what I say, this is the pinnacle of all right things. I was being self-righteous, really, really judgmental. And I was not leaving room for you to be you, right? Slimer, same vibes. Slimer vibes, that should be a shirt. And so I was literally taking my preferences and standards and then judging everything you did based off of what I would do. Right? Parenting, lawn, maintenance, building, whatever it was. And so that was the beginning of me being completely unable to be thankful for who you are because of who you are and why you are and how you are. And it took, I think it was just a process.
How about, I'm going to go therapy here. So in solution-focused counseling, we talk about, tell me about a time when the problem was not a problem. Because something bad or something not preferred isn't always happening. You understand what I'm saying? Like, so I'm reading Man's Search for Meaning right now, and even though they were in the concentration camps and their lives sucked, they talk about sleep as an unconscious respite towards everything. And then when they wake, it's an awakening to the reality that their lives are really terrible because they were, right? So even in that extreme situation, I could talk to the author and say, well, tell me about a time when this wasn't a problem. And he'd be like, well, when I'm asleep, I don't think about it, right? So the problem is not always the problem 100%. So I would say, you know what? If you struggle with finding positive things, then you're not doing a good enough job looking for the positive things.
Right.
Because your husband is not always negative 24/7, right? Even if there's 1 second out of 24 hours where he's not negative or you don't view him as negative, I want you to highlight that.
Yes.
Right? Highlight that and go, that one thing. I'm serious.
I just like it. Go like this.
No, you have to think about it in that way. Okay, wait a minute. That one thing that he did, that I like that. Okay, I'm going to focus on that. How can I look for more of that? Because what we look for, what we search for, we always find.
Well, and so the stuff that I was talking about, that is the sort of foundational stuff I needed to fix before I could even get to the what are the positives about Seth. Because I was like, screw him. I don't like him. He didn't do anything right. That's really where my mindset was. And so the first step I would say is examine like what preferences, expectations, standards, self-righteousness, like how are you being stupid? How about that? Ask yourself that. How am I being judgmental and dumb of my husband? Start there. Then the next step is the idea of what you focus on expands. Begin focusing on one of the best practices you can do is Dr. Claudia Graf Grounds talks about in season 1. Taking a walk down memory lane. Talk about the things that you remember, like when the problem wasn't a problem, when you were dating. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I can't wait to see you. All the fun things we did. Like, we're going to talk about it. Remember that time we drove to South Carolina in a 5-passenger car with 5 passengers in it, and we got there in, 72 hours? And Bridget literally never woke up from her hibernation in the back seat, and Matt fell asleep going 95, and we didn't die somehow. That's a real memory, right? And so invite your husband to talk about things that bring up all of those good chemicals, the good dopamine, all of that stuff. A really great way to do that, you guys, to remove the negativity, start going towards the positivity, is using our app, Anatomy of Marriage. That's why we made it. There are conversation starters. The only intention of those conversation starters is deeper connection, fun memories, talking about stuff you don't know about each other, and just do the just for fun one. There's tons of like hilarious questions in that. Actually, did you have one that you made up?
If we're going to do that,
let's do it right now, just because we want to show you how this stuff works.
And then we'll save that other question for later. So, So, what music are you currently listening to? What are you into right now? And just tell me why. Like, give me a little.
I'll tell you like 3 or 4 songs maybe.
Okay.
So I totally love Lizzo and Cardi B.
Okay.
Like the vibe, just the energy of it. Like I love the sassiness. I love the vibes. I love the like, get out of my face, I don't care-ness of it. I really, really love it. And
Leg hair, don't care.
Leg hair, don't care. And it's super upbeat. Even if I just love that kind of stuff. And that is why. And then I also love. Forget the other things. I love anything that's like really complicated music.
Right.
I love, what is it called? Punch Brothers.
Right.
And Goat Rodeo Sessions and Chris Thiele's stuff. But it's really, it's like.
How does it make you feel?
Their music makes me feel really focused. Like it takes all of the crazy in my brain and focuses it in one direction. Lizzo and Cardi B takes all of the joy within me and puts it out like a firecracker.
Right. And you just dance and go nuts.
But not like Katy Perry fireworks.
Right.
Blow.
Right. So, okay. Thanks for not asking me. Thanks, guys. The show's over.
What is yours?
I've been listening to, and this. Okay, if you're gonna, I'm gonna say this band name, and people are gonna go, oh, gross. But this is their most recent stuff, right?
Okay.
Tool.
Oh
right?
yeah, Tool's great.
The band Tool, like.
I used to listen to
The
Tool
old
all
stuff
the time.
is like super aggro and super like sexualized and whatever.
It's inappropriate, but musically it's amazing.
Yeah, Danny Carey's the drummer and I'm in the drummer. So anyway, amazing, right? So their latest album is like less aggressive, less, I don't know, about sex and weird deviant stuff, but is very, very musical and it's almost like it's almost hypnotic. Kind of thing, and that just the musicality of it. Of course, they're amazing, unbelievable musicians, and the time signatures and all that stuff. So I literally am obsessed with that. I listen to it multiple times throughout the day.
I have one more.
I have another one.
But let me tell you mine because it's funny because you said it's a weird band.
Okay.
The other person I love songs from right now, of all people, is Miley Cyrus.
Really?
Yeah, like she has a song. Nothing Breaks Like a Heart, and I'm like, this is the coolest song. And then
that one's pretty
Mother's
emotional.
Daughter, which is terribly inappropriate, but it's such a good song.
I don't know
anyway,
if I've heard that one. But then I set up a radio in our shed because we have 2 sheds. One is called Jumbo. It's a storage trailer, shipping container, and then the other one is called Tiny, right? And in Tiny is where most of our tools are and stuff like that. And I set up a radio, and it's on classical King 98.1.
It's your Tiny Tunes.
Tiny Tunes. But I absolutely am in love, and I'm not being dramatic there, when I go in there and there's just like cello playing or something super cool. I'm like, super cool. Super cool. Super chill, I mean, and it is great. So I've always loved classical music. I'd studied it and whatever.
Right.
And so Tool and classical music.
Right.
Which probably has a lot of commonalities because it's chill, it's hypnotic, it's very, very intentional and well thought out. Every single note is.
Yeah, I love that you asked that conversation starter, and seriously, talk about these things. If you're having a hard time finding the positivities in your partner or whatever, take a walk down memory lane, talk about these kind of conversation starters together. And if you listen to this podcast and you're conservative in any way, do not Google any of the music we just referenced.
Oh, right.
Do
Delano,
not listen. What?
Hold on, Delano, when I said Danny Carey, and I know you're a drummer too, I said that and I instantly thought about you. I was like, I know you're watching, and I knew that you would know who that was. So
when you said Danny Carey is the drummer, this is what I thought. Andy Stanley, which is he's
pastor
like a
guy?
pastor.
No,
then I thought of him being the drummer for Tool, which
wait a minute. Gabe Jackson says hum.
Oh yeah.
Hello.
Yeah.
We used to cover that, their greatest song ever, Stars. If you haven't seen their Saturday Night Live performance of Stars on Saturday Night Live a long time ago, go watch it. It's awesome. So they just dropped an album yesterday. Oh, okay, I will absolutely check that out today. And let's see. I think that's all that I've been.
Thomas
really
wrote,
into.
"Unmet expectations turn into future resentments." Not my original.
You know what? Also, I'm into.
I like that comment. I wanted you to comment on that.
Lil Wayne and E40.
Oh yeah. Oh, I don't think I like E40.
Oh, you would. Everybody got choices. We approve of your music choices. Thanks, Samantha. So let's go back to that comment. Unmet expectations, right? So let's just sit on that for a minute. Unmet expectations could also be unsaid expectations.
Right. Or
could be assumptions. Could be things that I have tended to do tend to do.
I have tint.
Oh well, I don't need that. I don't want to cause an argument. I'll just minimize my feelings, right? That all falls under the umbrella of unmet expectations, and then what that turns into, like Thomas says, future resentment.
Right. And
so I'm holding a year of stuff when I wish that you were doing something. It was something I needed, maybe like physical affection or words of affirmation or something like that, and I just minimized it. So part of that, more of that, is my fault than it would be your fault. You understand what I'm saying? Unless I was saying, unless they were expressed expectations and you were just whatever.
Right.
You don't need that. That's silly. You minimizing what I need, right? Because then that would almost be like there's righteous and unrighteous acts,
No.
Maybe that would be righteous resentment. I'm just kidding. I just made that up. I think you should work it out
more
than that. But yeah.
Well, there's two things I want to say about that.
Justified resentment.
Right. Kyle Cease.
But that's lame. Don't go on that.
Right. Kyle Cease talks about this idea that no one breaks your heart, they just break your expectations. And I love that idea. I remember the first time I heard it, I was like, record scratch, I don't agree with you, waving my hands everywhere. But then I thought about it, and he's like, no one can break your heart. They can only break your expectations of what you thought they were going to do or not do, right? So in this case, maybe she thought her husband was going to, like, cater to... Okay, hashtag real talk. This is what I thought. Seth's going to look at me the way my dad looked at me when I was a kid.
Right.
I'm the center of his world. He's not going to go to the bakery without me. Why would he do that? I live. I'm alive. I'm a human. Come and call me. Take me to the bakery. I'm the center of your world. Slimer, Slimer, Slimer.
But in my family of origin, you're like...
Oh, everyone
if you
is
want
like,
to do it alone, go do it.
Right. And don't... Yeah, in your whole family of origin, it's like every man for themselves, right? And so what was hard about that...
To some degree, not... Yeah.
Right. And what was hard about that is my expectation was he will treat me like royalty, like in the best way possible, right? Like biblical royalty. And that was not what happened. And so it was not like Seth is so stupid and he didn't know to treat me like biblical royalty. It was, my expectation was stupid. And I had to really assess and address that. So that's the first thing I want to say. People don't break your heart, they break your expectations.
I like that a lot. What's up, Jenny? Oh, and what's up, Lily?
Even something as simple or whatever as, like, my husband looked at porn. I mean, that was what happened in our marriage. You did not break my heart. You broke my expectation because my expectation was you wouldn't do that. Right? So I want you guys to think about that.
That would be perfect or
no, just that you wouldn't do that. Like, I wouldn't expect you to set fire to our house, right? If you did, I'd be like, whoa,
right.
That wasn't what I expected, right? So that was one thing I want to say. And then also to address this specific question, like, I struggle to see the negatives in my husband more than the positives. What do I do? And a really key thing is I want you to have a conversation with yourself, and that turns into actions like we do our daily intentions. Sit down and think about what would bring out more positivity for me in relationship to my husband. Is it a really good example of this is seeing your partner do what they are really good at that you're probably not a part of. Like, if you go to their work and see them in their in their setting, there's the thing that can happen if you are in a healthy place where that will bring you a lot of respect and love because you're like, wow, I didn't realize, like, Seth does all these meetings and he does whatever and he's doing this other thing. I don't know what you even do at your job, but you have clients and you do like Huckleberry Camp and you do Canoe Journey and it's like seeing a different side of him, right? On purpose to expand positivity. Or it could be what would bring positivity? Is doing a project together going to bring positivity? Is reading together? Is doing 75 Hard together going to bring positivity? Think about it. Don't just hope it happens. Think about it actively and try to make it happen.
Jamie says you see them in their habitat.
Right.
It makes me think of Sir David
Attenborough. Yes. The husband in his wild.
Here we have the female species.
The female of the species. Yes, that is very funny.
Yeah, so hey, you guys, so I want to wrap this up. And one thing, I don't want to do any ads or anything, but one thing that I want to do is one of the most important things that you can do for this show that helps us out, that is free, absolutely free, is share the show. Tag all your people. Jenny says, I like what you're saying, Melanie. Look for the exception. Exactly. It's cool. I was talking about solution-focused therapy earlier, Jenny. It was like, look for the time when the problem wasn't the problem, when this wasn't happening, and then expound upon that and try to recreate that. But what I want you guys to do, literally, please do this for me, for Melanie, if you like us, if you think we're great, or not. If you think the show is helpful and you think it would help other people, share the show. Hit up, just like, hey, Sarah, Billy, John, check out Anatomy of Marriage. You can send the show when you listen to it on
It's
iTunes.
like the whitest community ever.
Sarah, Billy, Joe,
Dan, Becky,
Steve. Anyway.
Anyhow, so but also if you like our show, please rate and review it on iTunes. That actually is incredibly helpful as well. Share it and rate and leave a review. If you leave a review, high fives, air fives. We love
right.
you. And to everyone who has already done that, thank you so much.
Yeah.
But all right, we will be back
guys.
tomorrow.
Yep, tomorrow's Thursday. We will catch you tomorrow. Remember to send in your questions. hello@anatomymarriage.com. And also follow me on Instagram @SethStudley. Thanks.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.